We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to the 423 Football Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Bouchard, joined here as always by Brett Hamilton.
Hello.
And it was an exciting weekend for us. We got to go to our best friend's wedding, or his parents' wedding. Excuse me. Honestly, he could be married for all we know.
Yeah,
but that was a great weekend. Congrats to them. Just a shout out. So today I know we've been set in stone the past couple weeks, just talking NFL draft, talking rankings and everything like that. So today we're going to it's getting into the summer and the off season, little less to talk about, but we're going to keep rolling a little bit with what happened post-draft. So this is going to be our post-draft winners and losers episode. We'll go through our winners and losers for fantasy. Again, this is a fantasy football podcast. We're mainly going to hit on that for the time being. Got a few things to talk about in the news, quick question, and we're going to do a rookie mock draft at the very end of the episode. And definitely want to stick around to the end of the episode because we have our second giveaway announcement. And congrats to Diane Price again for winning the Le'Veon Bell signed jersey. That was the last giveaway. Stay till the end of this episode to find out what we're giving away this time. What could it be?
I don't know. I'm just as excited.
Yes. Okay, quick question. Out of the 5 QBs that went in the first round this year, how many do you think will start week 1?
One. Yes. I think it'll be Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
I think Rosen and Darnold will start week 1. I think Rosen more than Darnold because I don't know. The Jets seem like they kind of want McCown to start right away.
Yeah.
Bradford, I can see that.
I think Bradford's going to be the starter.
Yeah, it's going to be close for all of them. And
none of those. I'm not really convinced about all of them. The Jets have come out and said Josh McCown was going to start, but
yeah,
I don't.
Well,
I think if he shows that he's ready, there's no reason they wouldn't put him in week 1.
Yeah, and obviously Lamar Jackson, he's not going to start week 1 unless something happened to Flacco.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson, jumping kind of into the news, already said Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter.
Yeah.
For the start of the season. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking. I don't know which one it'll be, but I expect at least 1, maybe 2. I don't see 3.
No,
I don't think.
No.
I don't think.
I don't think any more than 1. Really.
Really. Now, how many? As a part 2 to this question, you need to chill.
Whoa.
You need to chill, Mr. Timer. How many of those QBs do you think start at least 50% of their games next year?
At least 50%. I'd say 3.
3 of them?
I think Rosen will. I don't think Lamar Jackson will.
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't think he'll play a game or start a game next year.
I think Darnold will, and I think I don't know about Baker.
It's weird. I want
to say he does, but
they drafted him number 1. They absolutely love the guy.
Obviously, I think Josh Allen will because I think he'll be the starter week 1. But Baker Mayfield, he's kind of up in the air for me.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. I've never really seen someone take a quarterback like that, number 1, and then and be that over the moon over someone, and then go to Tyrod Taylor and say you're the guy. And Tyrod's been good and everything, but I wouldn't say he's been spectacular. But I guess that's where they're going. They're leaning towards Tyrod for the start of the season. And I do want to say with Hugh Jackson saying that Tyrod Taylor will be the starter and that won't change. And then there's another report saying Todd Haley has total autonomy of the Browns offense. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's if you're saying that he has total autonomy of the Browns offense and then you say no, Tyrod Taylor will be the starter week 1, then it's not really, you're just going back and forth on what you're saying. It's kind of bizarre there. Another thing to talk about in the news, Des Bryant still can't find a landing spot. He's been offered or I don't even know if he's being offered the minimum, the league minimum, and teams aren't even jumping on that. So I don't know. We might see the end of Dez Bryant. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of weird seeing someone that talented. Well, we've seen what his talent can be, but I don't know if it's injury concern. I don't know if it's just his personality and character issues. But Dez Bryant is not being looked at by many teams at all, if any, really.
Yeah, I do expect him to find a landing spot. I don't think that he's going to retire.
But that's like the
it's
league.
Taken a long time.
The league minimum.
Yeah,
like teams won't even give him that, and that's. I mean, he might. I don't know where he could end up. Maybe the Patriots.
Maybe.
Packers don't seem like they want him because I mean they just got 3 receivers in the draft. I don't think they're going there. I don't even know if Dallas would take him back. Honestly,
I don't. Think they would.
I think they're looking at him as more of a headache than anything.
Yeah, and I think it's more. If I had to, if I had to just choose what I think is the issue here, I think it's just a combination of what we've seen on the field for the past couple of years, where he's just not that great anymore, and combine that with his kind of issues in the locker room, and I don't really blame teams for not wanting to put it out there. It's just kind of wild to me to think that no one's even willing to pay him the minimum. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and I know that stirs up his ego a little bit because he's not the quietest of players when it comes to that.
I think his head's just way too big, and he's wanting more money than anyone's going to be willing to pay. So it might just be stubbornness on his part that is really affecting it.
Yeah. So I think that's all that was in the news. Not a whole lot coming out of. It's been kind of a quiet week since the draft, and I guess everyone's focused on their rookies and seeing what they got.
Yeah, rookie mini camps have opened. So.
Yeah. So it's been kind of quiet on the Western front, but we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're gonna get into the post-draft winners for fantasy and the post-draft losers for fantasy. So this will be, really important for whenever drafts start opening up, full-blownsies. And so this will give you some really good information going into seeing how the draft affected fantasy values across the board, and what could change from last year, and what names should stay the same or even get a little bit better than last year. So start us off with a couple of post-draft winners there, Brandon.
Well, first on my list, Christian McCaffrey. Panthers don't draft a running back. Obviously, Jonathan Stewart's not there anymore. Cameron Artis-Payne, I like him, and I think they'll use him quite a bit. I think they'll
have to, I think.
Well, I mean, at some point. But, yeah, last year, Christian McCaffrey, 197 touches last year, and he was the running back 15. Those numbers are going to go up. I expect his touchdowns to go up. They're going to use him a ton. He is going to be worked to death, basically, in that offense. I still don't like the fact that Cam Newton's the one throwing him the ball, but the fact that Cam can run with his legs and as opposed to his arms. But the fact that Cam has the running ability really opens up a lot for Christian McCaffrey as well. So I expect big things from Christian McCaffrey this year. Might even slide into my top 10 in running back rankings.
Yeah, I agree, because they didn't draft a big powerhouse running back that we thought maybe they might go after, because Christian McCaffrey's not that prototypical big guy that's going to run over everyone. In fact, he struggled a lot running up the middle this past year, where I think his average yards per carry when he ran up the middle at some point in the season was like negative yards, which isn't good. But that's not what he's not what he's known for or used for. So
that's where Cameron Artis-Payne comes in.
Exactly, and that's you see kind of in that Jonathan Stewart role, since they
that's the only thing to worry about to me. I mean, granted, I still think McCaffrey. I mean, his numbers will get better. He's going to get more touches, even more than last year. His probably fantasy value, RB15, probably going to be better than last year. But Cameron Artis-Payne might be the goal line back.
Yeah.
And that taking touchdowns away is a big deal. It hurts. I think McCaffrey only had 2 rushing touchdowns last year, but which I think it's going to be improved, but maybe just if there was any worry about Cameron Artis-Payne taking a little bit, it would be probably in the touchdown and goal line department.
Yeah, and a couple of other one of the rumors that I've seen around the interwebs is them bringing in another free agent running back like DeMarco Murray. Which I don't like DeMarco. I mean, I don't like DeMarco Murray going to the Panthers, but could you see them signing another, even just for depth, that could just muddy the waters for that backfield?
Maybe somewhat. If it's DeMarco, then I really don't like that. I don't like that situation because I feel like they'd just the name value alone, they'd probably be use him quite a bit.
Yeah,
and I maybe they bring in another back, but I still like McCaffrey a ton.
I don't think DeMarco Murray would be a good fit. I mean, I've seen that a lot of places, but I don't think he would be a good fit for that offense because I mean they already have a pass catching running back. In Christian McCaffrey, who did fantastic last year at that role. So I don't see them bringing in another guy like that. But there's always a possibility they could bring in another workhorse like Cameron Artis-Payne that could just take touches away from McCaffrey, and especially around the goal line, with McCaffrey being a little bit smaller. So what's another post-draft winner that you got for us?
Well, sticking with running backs, because running backs were, either you...
If you didn't draft a running back, you're in a good spot.
Kenyon Drake, Miami Dolphins running back. I know they got Frank Gore. They did draft Kalen Ballage later in the draft, but I think Kenyon Drake has solidified his role. They didn't really get a premier back. Frank Gore is going to be used quite a bit, I believe, because, I mean, he hasn't really shown that many signs of slowing down yet, but now we have Kenyon Drake, who has a full year of games under his belt. He started a lot of games after Jay Ajayi moved to the Eagles, so Kenyon Drake, I think he's going to be not necessarily the workhorse back, but definitely an improved fantasy asset. Maybe kind of what Christian McCaffrey was last year.
Yeah. The only issue with that, the only issue I have with Kenyon Drake is I think that the Dolphins are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
I mean, so be it. I mean, they're
still fantasy value.
The
touchdown differential is going to be a little bit skewed.
Yeah, I mean, Kenyon Drake's probably not going to be the touchdown guy anyway.
Yeah.
Ballage definitely could be their goal line back. Frank Gore is one of the best goal line backs in the league.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Dolphins were bad last year, and Kenyon Drake did okay.
Yeah.
And
you can pick him up and flex him pretty good.
And not to mention they're going to have Tannehill back. Their wide receivers are just a mess. But but I fully expect Kenyon Drake to have a lot of work next year.
Yep, I like that. Any non-running back winners you got?
Let's see. Yo, you'll like this one. Amara Darboh.
That's my guy from last year.
I'm talking, deep cut. He looked pretty good last year. They really like him in Seattle. Paul Richardson's gone. Sorry, what's his name?
Russell Wilson.
No. Well, whatever. Paul Richardson's gone. Doug Baldwin's still there. Tyler Lockett's still there. Jimmy Graham's gone. There's going to be a lot of targets up for grabs in Seattle. And Amara Darboh, I think, could really, really take a step up there. Kelvin Benjamin is another guy I had as a winner. Bills really didn't focus in on the wide receiver in this draft that much. I mean, they got Josh Allen, and then they went defense. So Josh Allen, if he can really be a good, solid, somewhat accurate quarterback for Kelvin Benjamin, I think that was probably the best thing that could happen for him. Now, both of those wide receivers, Darboh and Benjamin, I'm not really looking at them in even the top 20 or 30 wide receivers, really. But definitely taking steps forward there.
I like it.
Going back to the Dolphins, I do think Ryan Tannehill, obviously he's coming back from his ACL, but Dolphins didn't address the QB.
No.
Looks like Tannehill's going to be their guy for now, and they got a few more weapons. Obviously, Kenyon Drake, he's going to have that this year. Frank Gore, Kalen Ballage. Definitely need some help with wide receivers and offensive line, but Tannehill, I mean, that's great there. And, yeah, you could say that all the quarterbacks that got extra pieces to add to their offense and add to their help them improve, whether it be offensive linemen. Andrew Luck, obviously, they get offensive linemen, and that's definitely what he needs to stay healthy. Matt Ryan gets Calvin Ridley. That's going to be a great uptick. Eli Manning gets Saquon Barkley. Who else? Case Keenum. Case Keenum gets Courtland Sutton, and Royce Freeman. A lot of other pieces that can really, really jumpstart offenses and really help these quarterbacks maybe step up in fantasy even more. Let's see. What other winners I got? Jay Ajayi. Mm-hmm. Jay Ajayi is probably overlooked by a lot of analysts I guess they're still concerned about his knees.
Yeah.
But he's a really, really good running back.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people keep saying the Eagles need to bring someone else in. Ajayi's fine. Corey Clement is...
Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of work this year.
Yeah, he looked great last year. He looked great in the Super Bowl. Good pass-catching back.
Yeah.
I think they'll use him quite a bit. Darren Sproles is going to be back again. But Jay Ajayi is the clear number one at the moment.
Yep.
And I don't see that changing. It's a great offensive line, great offense. Great news for Jay Ajayi, especially if you have him in your dynasty leagues. And if you already have him, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. One I was going to throw out there. This guy does not need to be. Doesn't need any more help based on fantasy production. But David Johnson was a winner for two reasons. One, they didn't get another running back until later. They got Chase Edmonds. Whatever.
It would matter.
It wouldn't matter. Obviously, that part wouldn't matter. But they did spend the first round capital on Josh Rosen, which was someone that we thought is the most NFL ready. And like we've said for a couple of episodes, Sam Bradford is not durable. He doesn't really. He doesn't have knees, pretty much.
They are gone.
He's going to break down, and with them losing Carson Palmer last year, if Sam Bradford goes down, they would have had to put in Mike Glennon, which would have impacted everyone. But now that they have Josh Rosen, who may take the spot even from Sam Bradford, because I think that Josh Rosen is really good, then that kind of removes that worry about David Johnson, long term for the rest of the year.
Now they did draft Christian Kirk. The Cardinals did.
Yeah.
Do you think that his style of play, being kind of like the slot, over the middle kind of guy, maybe some screen passes, do you think that takes away any of David Johnson's receiving just production?
It could, if they use him, if they use him to that specialty, which I think they will. But they've still got Larry Fitzgerald, who does a lot of the same routes now that he's older. It could take away a little bit, but David Johnson's not one that I worry about.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I guess you could kind of say the same thing about Christian McCaffrey. If there was a little bit of worry on that front, because
from
DJ Moore doing the same kind of thing, but I still think McCaffrey's going to get over 80 catches and still be very, very, very productive with his touches.
Yeah.
One more winner before we move into the losers: Marlon Mack. Colts didn't address the running back either. Marlon Mack's basically the only guy there at the moment, and I have no problem with that. I really liked what I saw from Marlon Mack last year.
I did too. I wish he would have got more opportunities, but you've got Frank Gore in front of you, so it's kind of hard to.
Well, you have that, and you have your QB situation's a mess. Your offensive line is a mess.
Yeah.
They hopefully all their addressing of the offensive line this offseason.
Helps.
Hopefully it helps. Hopefully Andrew Luck can actually throw a football again. And Marlon Mack, I'm getting really intrigued. If all is fine with Andrew Luck and everything's going smoothly by the time the season opens.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So that wraps up the post-draft winners for fantasy. Now we're going to get into the opposite side of the coin, the post-draft losers.
The losers.
Yeah, these are the guys that maybe you got to worry about a little bit more based on what their teams did in the draft. Maybe not going to be able to repeat what they did last year or in the prior years. So start us off with a post-draft loser.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I only have one player on this list that isn't a running back. So, well, I'll just give you that now.
Running backs are very up and down.
Well, I mean, you're either the starter and you're way up, or you're kind of shuffled in the pack and not
part
sitting.
of the committee.
Yeah, part of the committee, and that's never good.
No,
I don't like that word. Committee.
No, I don't like that.
But first one, Devontae Booker. Broncos go out and get Royce Freeman. I really didn't like what I saw from Booker last year either. Anyway,
No.
A lot of people seem to have a lot of hype on him, but I really didn't see much.
No.
C.J. Anderson's gone now. Royce Freeman is going to take the C.J. Anderson role, and I think he's going to do very, very well with it.
Yeah.
And Booker's going to be basically what he was last year, and that's not that great of a running back.
Yeah. Speaking of C.J. Anderson, I'm still intrigued to where he could go. He's been rumored to the Colts too, which I would not like. I mean,
I'd be okay with it.
I'd be okay.
Honestly,
I wouldn't like it for Marlon Mack because I really want Marlon Mack to have the ball.
Yeah. I think he can do a lot, Marlon Mack. But C.J. Anderson, if he goes to the right spot, that would be great because I really, really like C.J. Anderson as a running back. Maybe the Panthers could grab him. He'd be kind of a Jonathan Stewart-esque.
Better than DeMarco.
Yeah, better fit anyway.
Yeah, he would fit. He would fit what they're lacking and what they can't get out of McCaffrey. I actually do like that, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, second loser I got Chris Carson. Chris Carson, the Seahawks, I guess, only good running back from last year. Thomas Rawls is gone. Eddie Lacy's gone. So you'd think it'd be an improvement for Chris Carson, but they go and take Rashad Penny in the first round.
Which is awesome.
Obviously, first round of value, they are going to use him a lot.
Yeah.
And I expect, even with the offensive line issues, that might be a little worrisome for maybe injuries if they run him to death. But Chris Carson, everyone thought he was going to be the starter going into this year. Now Penny's there, and I expect Chris Carson to see very little of the field this season, barring any injury to Penny.
Yep, I agree. Well, since we haven't gone over your non-running back pick.
We'll save it.
We'll save that to the end. So let's hear another running back loser.
Yes, Samaje Perine, and I guess you could put Rob Kelly in that mix too. But they get Darius Geis, and I really, really believe that Geis is going to be the starter for the Redskins. I like Perine. I like what I saw from Rob Kelly. Chris Thompson is going to get more work than Rob Kelly or Perine. I can guarantee that if he's all good and healthy by the start of the season, because he's definitely going to be their pass catcher, that really change of pace kind of back. Actually, who, if you were drafting right now, would you take Darius Geis or Chris Thompson first? And we'll say half point PPR.
And half point, I'd probably go Geis. And if it was full point, I would go.
You go Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because Geis. I don't think Geis isn't going to be effective in the pass catch. I mean, that's just not him.
Well, I mean, I think he can. It's just why if you have Chris Thompson.
Exactly.
Chris Thompson is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
We saw what he could do last year. He was a huge fantasy asset until he got injured. So I could see it's going to be. I'm going to have them very close in my rankings. I feel like when that time comes.
Yep.
But yeah, Samaje Perine, Rob Kelly, definitely losers in this draft. Amir Abdullah. Abdullah is. I think he's done. I think honestly, he's been injured quite a bit. He really hasn't gotten going when he's been healthy. LeGarrette Blount's there now. They get Kerryon Johnson. It's not good for Amir Abdullah. They obviously still have Theo Riddick. I really don't see how Abdullah's getting any touches at all. No. I don't know where he's going to fit in that offense.
No.
Bucks running backs. All of them not named Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones, obviously, they took him in the second round.
Yeah.
It seems like he's going to be the guy. Yeah. I mean,
unless they do some sort of paradigm shift. I mean, the Buccaneers don't use committees. That's just even when you had the corpse of the Duggernaut out there.
Corpse.
Out there last year. I mean, he was actively bad, and they still rolled him out, and they still tried to run him into the ground.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do it, and that's just because that's what they do. They don't go to the command. They don't do all these fancy things with the running backs. They want one guy that can do just about anything that they ask him to. And obviously, Doug Martin couldn't do that last year, and so with the capital that they spent at the running back position, I think that's exactly what they're planning on doing, and he's going to get the volume. I mean, whether the Buccaneers are good or bad, I mean, he's going to have the volume.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Jaquiz Rogers is still there. Peyton Barber's still there. Charles Sims still there. But again, like you said, probably going to lean towards one guy. I think if there was any guy to challenge his fantasy production the most, I'd say it'd probably be Jaquiz Rogers, just because he's kind of like the scat back. Now, Ronald Jones can do that as well, but Jones can do a lot more than that. He's like a combination. Honestly, he's like a combination of all three of those running backs.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
Well, yeah. Why have three when you can have one?
Yeah.
And then let's see. Last running back, I have Carlos Hyde. He was just borderline like fantasy relevant, or I shouldn't say relevant, but like fantasy like RB1, RB2 before this draft in my mind. I really like Duke Johnson, and I think they're going to use him as the change of pace guy, maybe a slot receiver type of role. But they already, obviously, Carlos Hyde being there, and then they go get Nick Chubb, and I fully expect Nick Chubb to get a decent amount of work. Chubb is a really good running back. He's kind of similar to what Hyde is. Hyde's a little better of a pass catcher, but I don't see Hyde doing much pass catching with Duke Johnson back there. So that's going to be a weird backfield to gauge and see how I'm going to rank him and everything. I still kind of like Duke. I might, honestly, with Chubb being there and Hyde being there, I might like Duke Johnson more than both of them now.
Yeah.
Just because
he's got the pass catching ability.
Yeah, and just
roll him out wide receiver.
Yeah, the headache of trying to figure out which it's going to be, Chubb or Hyde. Now it might just be Hyde all the way, and they might just save Chubb for
maybe.
He might just be pushed back in the depth chart.
Yeah, because they were pretty aggressive when they signed him. I mean, that was a move that I wasn't expecting, and maybe they're thinking Carlos Hyde is the guy for this year, and Nick Chubb just kind of learned from a little more of a veteran. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
It's going to be tough.
All right, ready for my non-running back?
Yes.
Wide receiver, Devin Funchess. Funchess and Bunches. He was looking like the clear-cut guy. He's still the number one in that team, but they're adding options. They've obviously, Greg Olsen, I believe, is sticking around.
Yep.
DJ Moore is there now. Christian McCaffrey, obviously, his production, I think, is going to go up in the passing game.
Yeah.
So, Funchess, I mean, he came on big last year, and I still like Funchess because he's the only big wide receiver they have. I think, again, the only one over 6 foot on that team.
Yeah.
So,
but he's still not huge.
No, not. I mean, he's not crazy big, but he's the big option that Cam Newton needs for his inaccuracy issues. So I think his production is going to dip just because they've added so many guys, and they might not try to use. He's not going to be that offensive weapon.
He was the only one there for
a
while.
Yeah, that very, very true. Probably going to be more of a touchdown guy than a yardage guy.
Yeah,
and that's fine, but just a dip in production, I definitely see that coming for Devin Funchess.
Yeah, I think so too. Does that wrap up the fantasy losers?
I guess I was trying to think of a quarterback that maybe didn't get help or just maybe lost a few people. I mean, Dak Prescott, I guess you could say. They did add a lineman, so I like that. They obviously have Zeke, but
I'd say
the wide receiver issues they're not the best.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're talking about fantasy relevant quarterbacks. So I was going to say Ryan Tannehill. They didn't really help him out on offense at all, other than they gave him a tight end in Gesicki. But no one's drafting Tannehill to be a fantasy quarterback.
No,
so
honestly,
I guess that doesn't really matter.
I'd probably take most of the rookies, or rookie quarterbacks over Tannehill. No, thank you.
That's gross. Well, I guess that wraps up the post-draft winners and losers for fantasy. So close out this episode, we are going to go into the rookie mock drafts. Why don't you explain the rules of engagement?
Rules of engagement. All right, we got basically we're going to do it like 10 teams. I'll draft for half of them. Brett's going to draft for half of them. We're going to do 2 rounds, so 20 picks. Go through 20 rookies. This is basically if you were doing your dynasty drafts, dynasty rookie drafts. This is what we'll be drafting from. So I don't really know. Well, heck, we'll just go with it. You want first pick or here? We're gonna flip a bottle cap to see. Whatever. Upright. That's me. Down is or the other side is you.
Okay.
Whatever. All right, here we go. Me
Fixed.
Well, I'm taking Saquon.
Why?
Who would have thought? Who would
Are
have
you
thought?
kidding me? Well, that's fine. You can go ahead and take Saquon.
Yeah.
I will take. This one's tough.
It's hard after that.
I was like, man, that was a really easy first pick.
Yeah, I'll take him. I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's how it's going to be for every draft.
Honestly,
for just rookies.
Yeah, definitely.
After you get past number 1,
you can make a case for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like. There's like 3 or 4 running backs that I think are could be willing to take a number 2 pick on. But I am going to go. I'm going to go Rashad Penny.
Penny.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. All right, number 3. I'm going Ronald Jones. I think he's going to be better than Geis. I think he's definitely going to be better than Sonny Michel, Royce Freeman, some of those other rookie running backs.
Just couldn't let me have it.
No, you should. Honestly, I'd be tempted.
That's who I was picking between.
I'd be tempted to take him there as well. But
yeah,
I mean, we'll stick with him at number 3.
All right, number 4. My second pick. I'm gonna take Darius Geis.
Geis. Yeah. Geis is nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
He gets the opportunity. I think he could make something pretty special there.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Royce Freeman now. I think he's going to get a lot of work with the Broncos. I think they like that style of running back. Booker, again, like I mentioned earlier, not the biggest fan.
All right, that's interesting. I'm gonna go. Man, it's between 2. It's tough. I'm gonna go Sonny Michel.
Sonny Michel.
I don't really like it because I just don't like predicting the new
Patriots running backs.
I don't like it.
I saw a lot of people saying, or I think it might have been another winners and losers like kind of style of article.
Yeah.
But I think they're saying how Rex Burkhead was a loser in this with them getting Sonny Michel. I really don't see how that's the case.
No.
Dion Lewis is gone. They like James White a lot as well, and I don't see Rex Burkhead really taking that much of a dip just because Sonny Michel was added. They use Burkhead quite a bit. They use James White quite a bit. Michel, I guess, is going to be the Dion Lewis type of guy, but you kind of have to take him here just because the offense is so prolific.
Right.
But I still don't like.
No,
I didn't really like that pick for them, but I guess we're gonna roll.
You just have to.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm getting close to taking a wide receiver. I'm not.
Yep. All running backs so far.
I'll go ahead. I'm gonna take Calvin Ridley.
Ooh.
Calvin Ridley. I think he is going to be a fantasy monster eventually in that offense. Matt Ryan, you already have Julio Jones. He's going to draw 2 defenders most of the time. Mohamed Sanu is a pretty good wide receiver as well. They got a decent running game, great offensive line. Matt Ryan, okay quarterback, and then Calvin Ridley, man. I expect big things from Calvin Ridley.
Yep. He landed in pretty much the perfect spot, so I can't blame you there. I'm gonna stick with the running backs and go Nick Chubb.
Chubby.
I'll take a chance in that he kind of runs away with the job, or at least the bulk of the carries. I don't know if he could take the clear cut number one, but I think he's got a chance.
Yeah, and definitely in the future as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'll stick with wide receiver. Going DJ Moore.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, I expect to get quite a bit of work just because of where they drafted him, and they don't really have that many wide receivers outside of Devin Funchess. So DJ Moore, again, the accuracy issues with Cam, not the nicest, but he could be the next Steve Smith for that team.
Yep, I like it. I'm going to finally draft someone other than a running back and go Cortland Sutton for the Broncos. It's going to be tough for him to kind of make a name for himself. They do have Case Keenum now, so he's got a good quarterback. But they still are holding on to Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, so it's going to be tough. But I really like Cortland Sutton, and they drafted him high, so they obviously understand that they still have two really good wide receivers in front of him, but they still drafted him high.
Yeah.
So I'll take a chance and go with Sutton.
Yeah. I'm going back to running back. Actually, well, that rounded out our top 10, or our first round. So second round, I'm taking Kerryon Johnson. I think he has arguably one of the best paths to a starting role because LeGarrette Blount, on the older side, maybe not staying healthy all the time. Amir Abdullah is done, as we mentioned earlier. Theo Riddick is there. He's always going to be there for that pass-catching role. But Kerryon Johnson, I really, really like his potential path to carries.
Yep. This next one's tough. It's between two wide receivers, but I think that I am going to go with Christian Kirk.
I like it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably would have taken him over Sutton. I really like his role in that Cardinals offense.
I like Christian Kirk a lot, and I think they just don't have a lot of wide receiver pieces now. They've shipped out so many of them. Besides Larry, obviously the clear-cut number one.
Larry?
No matter how old he is, he's going to be the number one there.
Yeah.
But I really like the situation Kirk found himself in after the draft.
Yeah. I do want to mention, I don't know if we mentioned it already, this rookie mock draft, it's based around 2018 alone. It's not really looking dynasty. That's why otherwise we probably would have had quarterbacks go already. If you're wondering why we haven't, they might not even go. We'll see what happens. All right, so Christian Kirk at number 12.
Yep.
And then 13, I am taking James Washington.
That's who I was picking between. James Washington and Christian Kirk. I like both, but
I am really, really, really rising on James Washington. I really, really like what the Steelers do with three wide receivers out there. Martavis Bryant is gone. We saw what Juju did as a rookie last year.
Yeah.
James Washington is going to be a very, very good deep ball threat in that offense. And regardless of what Ben Roethlisberger might be saying at the moment, just throwing wrenches in the gears. But I still think James Washington is going to be a very, very good wide receiver in this league.
Yep, I like it. Next, it's getting a little bit tougher. Some of these guys are kind of just throwing darts. I'm going to go Anthony Miller for the Bears. The Bears, they have far from a solidified wide receiver lineup. Obviously, I think Allen Robinson is going to get his production. But other than that, I think any of these guys could step up and. They took Anthony Miller, I think, for a reason, and I think they want to use him this year, and I think that he could really come into a spot that he can rise on the depth chart and have some fantasy success.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go DJ Chark.
DJ Chark.
I think that the Jags are going to use him a ton. They have a bunch of young receivers. They obviously got rid of Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns. There's targets to go around, and I think DJ Chark is going to have an immediate impact on that Jaguars team.
Yep, I like it.
And he fast.
Yeah, very. yeah, seriously. I'm gonna go. This is gonna get really tough. I'm gonna go Traquan Smith for the Saints. Obviously we're seeing a different Saints team than what we're used to seeing, where they didn't have to pass the ball very much last year. I think that's going to be kind of a anomaly. I think Drew Brees' numbers are going to increase from last year. I think that was kind of an anomaly year for him, really. It's just not his typical play style, but they didn't have to. They didn't have to rely on him as much. But I think that they're going to have to step it up a little bit in the passing game, and I think Traquan Smith, the Saints, I trust Sean Payton. I don't, he's not my favorite person, but I trust him because he's a good offensive mind, and he's kind of one of those coaches where if he goes after one of these offensive guys early that you weren't really expecting him to pick, you kind of think that maybe there's a reason that he's seeing something that other people aren't seeing, and he's got a plan to use them in different ways than what you might expect.
Yeah. I don't really like this pick, but I'll go Michael Gallup. I don't really like the
I don't hate that.
I don't like the Cowboys receiver situation. I really don't like Dak as a passer, really.
Yeah.
But they have a great offensive line. Zeke's going to be the workhorse back, of course, but Michael Gallup being basically the new shiny wide receiver in town. Allen Hurns isn't going to do much. Terrence Williams is disappointed in the past. Jason Witten's gone, so there's going to be targets. And Michael Gallup, I definitely can see him getting a nice amount of targets his way.
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite, just because I don't really the passing situation in Dallas is just so up in the air at this point. But
well, that's Dallas.
yeah, right now it is. Oh man, I think I'm gonna go. Ooh,
you got 2 more picks. I only got 1.
I know this is really tough. I am going to pick a tight end, Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, see, I was gonna pick a tight end, and I think I might lean Goddard over. Just,
that's fair. We're picking tight ends at this point.
Gesicki is definitely. He's going to be the starter. Goddard's not because he's got Ertz in front of him.
And
but
that's
I
the
think
only reason I'm picking him over.
But I think they're going to use him quite a bit. Especially they like 2 tight end sets.
And that's fair. But Gesicki, he's the tight end there. They have nobody. So if they're gonna throw a touchdown to a tight end, it's gonna be Gesicki.
Yeah.
You don't have to play that game.
Yeah, definitely. I know who I'm picking, sort of, but I got to figure out which one I want to pick.
It means it's a quarterback.
No. Honestly, I'm not going to touch the quarterbacks in this. We're talking about this year. We mentioned we don't know how many quarterbacks will even start the year. Mayfield would have been an okay option. Rosen, I think he's in the best offense. Lamar Jackson, definitely, if he gets out on the field, his running ability would be nice. But not for 2018. Maybe if we were talking, if this was a rookie dynasty draft, then yeah, I'd be more inclined to take him. But I'm gonna go with. Honestly, it's basically throwing a dart as to which one will be productive. I think one of them will, but I'm gonna say Equanimeous St. Brown. I'm gonna go.
Okay, yeah, that's what you're trying to say.
It was between him or Jamon Moore. I think they like more. They like more than ESB, just because obviously the draft capital they spent on him.
Yeah.
And he's a really good receiver as well. He's a much stronger receiver than ESB. But I think what ESB does and his speed and downfield ability, that's what the Packers have been missing. And I think he's going to be the guy who really, really improves that offense a ton.
Yeah, I like that. I really like him, and I hope he does really well this year because I'm definitely pulling for him.
I guess we could have. Again, as you mentioned earlier, how much more help and like better fantasy value could a guy have? But Aaron Rodgers, they added Jimmy Graham. They've added some offensive linemen.
Oh yeah,
they got all these receivers. Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, not that you were worried about him.
Yeah, not that he wasn't the QB1 already, but just even more so now.
Yeah. So, for the final pick in the rookie NFL mock draft, I think I'm going to go, and this is, at this point we're just taking shots. if I'm not going to take a quarterback, which I don't really want to, I will say if I was going to take a quarterback at this point, I would lean Sam Darnold. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pick Dante Pettis for the 49ers.
I really, really hate that pick.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I hated it when the Niners took him. I don't think Pettis is that good of a receiver. Honestly, if I was going to take a rookie wide receiver from the Niners, I'd take Richie James. I would, without question, take Richie James. Pettis is obviously going to get work, but he's kind of the same style of receiver that they already have, kind of like Pierre Garcon type of player.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was leaning on taking another running back. I was going to take Mark Walton for the Bengals. Yeah. I think with Jeremy Hill gone, and I mean Joe Mixon might still be the guy, but I think they still don't know how to use their running backs, and Mark Walton might be thrown in the mix as well, even though he might not. It might not be the best decision for them to do that.
No.
But yeah, that wraps up our rookie mock draft. Just to go back through it one more time. Again, we did 20 picks, 2 rounds. So Saquon Barkley, Rashad Penny, Ronald Jones, Darius Geis, Royce Freeman, Sonny Michel, Calvin Ridley, Nick Chubb, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Kerryon Johnson, Christian Kirk, James Washington, Anthony Miller, DJ Chark, Traquan Smith, Michael Gallup, Mike Gesicki, Equanimous St. Brown. I'm getting a lot better at saying that, by the way. And Dante Pettis. I'll probably tweet these out, or our individual teams that we picked, and be like, "Yo, who had to bet a draft?" Because it's going to be me because I took Saquon.
I know. I was about to say you already won because you had the first pick.
Like honestly, you could put him on any rookie list.
I could have just picked nothing but quarterbacks after the Saquon Barkley, and it's
just whatever.
It's just whatever.
But anyway, so before we close out the show, time to announce our second giveaway ever. This time we're giving away, or last time we gave away a Le'Veon Bell signed jersey. This time you have the chance to win a T.Y. Hilton autographed 8x10 photo.
Nice.
Look, it looks clean. Be great up on your wall and everything. So we'll be tweeting out the giveaway tweet, kind of similar to the way we did it last time. All you have to do is follow us and retweet the giveaway tweet. And that'll be pinned to the top of our account, which I guess we'll have that up later today, sometime later today. T.Y. Hilton autographed photo for all you Colts fans out there. I know you're excited about this one.
I'm excited about it. I'm not a Colts fan.
Exactly. Maybe he'll actually have a productive season if Andrew Luck is on the field.
I sure hope
Maybe I can actually feel good about drafting him in fantasy.
Yeah, because I didn't feel good about it last year.
No. So, that's going to be all for today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the423football. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and YouTube. Give us a like. Leave your comments and reviews. Thanks for listening. We are the 423 Football Podcast.
Peace